Hello. Today, guys, I want to talk about the four-letter word that tends to keep man from challenging the limitations over our lives. But before I continue to that, I want us to understand what are limitations. Limitations are those things, those obstacles that prevent us from reaching to the destination. Let's just call it that. A limitation is something that prevents us from reaching the destination, right? But some of these limitations that we based our concepts on, they're false. Some of these limitations are things that we mechanically engineer in our minds, right? And we hold our own selves back, all right? See, one thing that I want us to understand that is the limitations that are over our lives is a mentality. It's a way of thinking. When you look around you today, you gotta understand that you are only where you are because of the level of thinking that you've been bobbing on for the past, for your past lives, right? And in order for us to really break past our current situation, break past the circumstances, we're going to have to elevate our thinking. We're going to have to elevate our mindset. We're going to have to see life beyond what we're currently experiencing, even though the present circumstances may not seem like it. But how can we do that? Well, first and foremost, we need to understand and recognize the emotions that tend to keep us bound, right? That tend to keep us from taking a leap of faith, that tend to keep us from taking that quantum leap. Now, what are these emotions? I like to call it the four-letter word called D-law, right? D-law. D-L-A-W, D-law. What is D-law? D-law simply stands for doubt, limitation, anxiety, and worry, right? These are four words that are crippling to any man's achievement. These are four words that will keep a man in submission for the rest of his life. These are four words that will keep a man from experiencing the possibilities that this life has to offer, right? And understand this, that these four-letter words are simply a mindset, right? Now, a lot of us want to accomplish these great things. We want to accomplish massive things. We want to accomplish big things, right? But we're always bounded by something: doubt, limitations, anxiety, or worry, right? Let's not forget fear, but fear is literally the father of all of these. Fear is the father of doubt, is the father of limitations, is the father of anxiety, and is the father of worry, right? If I also quote the Bible, there's a Bible verse in the book of Timothy that says, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but he's given us a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind, right? So if we are experiencing these emotions, right, these emotions that are birthed by fear, right? If we're experiencing these emotions, that obviously tells you that there's another force that is not of God that is influencing your decision making, that's preventing you from taking that leap that you're supposed to take in the first place, right? So how can we get out of these? How can we get from where we want to go to where we want to be? How can we get from where we are now to where we want to be? Well, first things first, we're going to have to change our mindset. Our mindset is literally the center of divine operation. It's the center of divine operation, right? Like, think of how vast the realm of the spirit is. Think of how vast the possibilities are. The things that you can do in this life are inconceivable. We can do whatever we put our minds to, right? But the issue is we don't know how to center our mind to what it is that we truly want without having to embark or without having to encounter these emotions: doubt, limitations, anxiety, and worry, right? So we're going to have to constantly be training our mindset like a muscle, because honestly, the realm of the spirit is so vast, it's so large, it's so grand, but the only thing that keeps us bound is our mind, right? So if the thing that keeps us bound is our mind, that means the thing that could free us is our mind as well. And how can we free our mind? By first and foremost recognizing these emotions, right? When we want to do something, when we set out to do something in life and we come across these emotions, right, we need to understand that this is not a spirit of God. Number one, understand that it is not a spirit of God, right? Number two, right, when we recognize that it is not a spirit of God, that automatically puts us in a position to where, okay, boom, now I need to figure out how to get rid of these emotions. How can I get rid of these emotions? By adopting a mindset of courage, right? Adopting a mindset of faith. The opposite of fear is faith. Faith. The opposite of fear is faith. Sometimes you're gonna have to do it scared. Sometimes you're gonna have to do it with the limitations right in your face. Sometimes you're just gonna have to do it even when it seems like nobody in this world hears what you're saying. But guess what? The more you do it is the more you train in that muscle, right? That muscle called the mind. And the more you do it, the more you begin to suppress the emotion of fear. Not even suppress, you begin to eradicate it. You begin to get rid of the emotion of fear. Fear is the father of doubt, limitation, anxiety, and worry, right? And that, let me talk about limitation. Sometimes we don't even realize that the limitations that we carry around are false. They're based on a false pretense that has been rooted in junk, right? They're based on false beliefs. We may have come across something in the past, right? Experienced something in the past, right? Somebody may have told us that we're this, or somebody may have told us that we were that, and we believed in it. And then we began to live our lives as if that was true, right? And then we, without even understanding or without even being aware, we've created a limitation. We haven't even realized that we're creating a limitation that will prevent us from accomplishing something even grand in the future, right? We need to break these limitations, and we break limitations by having faith and doing it anyways. We break limitations by not worrying about how we're going to make this jump, but we break the limitations by focusing our mind on where we are going to land and begin to walk and assume the character of that person that you are becoming. No matter what it is, in the face of adversity, in the face of limitation, even when it feels like the world is against you, still continue to move in faith and still continue to move in that courageous manner that you will be where you are supposed to be. But remember, it's all on the mindset. You can't have high goals and a poor mindset. You will still be where you were always supposed to be based on the level of your mind, based on how well you begin to equip your mind. What are you putting in your mind? What are the things that reside in your mind? You need to ask yourself these questions. If you are on social media all day, every day, and you want to accomplish these grandiose things, and you're not putting the right material in your mind, then you're going to get exactly what you deserve based on the material that you feed your mind. Your body, and your circumstances is only obedient to what you give your mind, what you feed your mind to, right? So let's not forget about our mindset. Yes, God is real. Yes, the spiritual promises are real. Yes, God is ready to bless us, but he cannot give these treasures to a person who doesn't even take care of his mind. He can't give $1 million to a person who can't manage $200. And that's the hard truth. And that's the truth about it. So what are you willing to do? Right? Change your mind today so you can be free tomorrow. And that's it.